Hey, what's up, everybody? It's After Dice Crush back with you here once again. And yes, it's another Heroclix video. Listen, if you've been following me on social media, here and there, wherever, this week was a pre-release for DC Masters of Time. And I, being new to the game and wanting to learn more about the game, I was like, you know what? I'm going. And I did. I'm going to show you guys what I picked up and kind of what I went with as far as my team. It was a 300 event. There is another one next week as well, so most likely you're going to get another one of these videos next week because it's also a 300 2-booster sealed draft. So, time to go over pretty much what I got. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set aside the actual team that I set up, and we'll kind of go over that team eventually. But I'm going to go over a couple of the items that I did get and kind of give you a generalized idea of kind of which way I was thinking, what I wasn't thinking, and what actually ended up happening. So as far as any doubles, I only got one set of doubles, and that was, of course, a Superman. But I did also end up getting a couple of, I'll say interesting. Yeah, we'll just say interesting units in the 2 boosters. And as far as the actual event itself, I didn't do too terrible. I guess so. One thing I would probably end up saying is I need to go through and just kind of hardcore go through the powers and abilities booklet that I had with the starter set, which was indispensable during the event. I wasn't the only new person there or new-ish to the game, and having that powers and abilities booklet was fantastic. I was able to kind of reference it here and there and really be able to kind of get a trudge in on what I was kind of doing on the maps and the figures that I had. So, I'm going to go through the stuff I didn't use first, and then we're going to go through and hit the ones that I did. So, here we go. I'm going to go actually through the only double that I got, which was Superman. Superman number 15. I'm not a Superman guy. Pretty decent sculpt, though. It kind of reminds me of Reeve, you know? But, again, not really a big Superman guy. However, the kind of thing I was thinking of going with during this event ended up not... I kind of had a little bit of a split, and you'll see the differences in between what I got. But the Superman is number 15 out of the set. Justice League, Kryptonian, Metropolis, Time Masters, Trinity, Future, and Past. Time Masters is probability control. When Superman uses it and an opposing character misses all targets, after resolutions, remove an action token from a friendly character with the future or past keyword. And I can't let this happen. Defend and invulnerability. Comes with 2-point levels. It's 50 and 85. On the back, he has Hyper Time. When an opposing character that can't use this team ability attempts to move from a non-adjacent square into a square that is adjacent to this character, it must roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, the opposing character can't move into any square adjacent to this character this turn. Now, from what I was kind of thinking with the Time Master's ability, I was thinking about using it, but I didn't feel like I had it enough for it to really truly matter with the cards with the characters that I had. But I almost put him into my team anyway, just based off the fact that he's got an 8-click run. Like, that is insane. His abilities to charge, super strength, invulnerability, and toughness. And just off that alone, he starts off click 1 with a 19 defense. That is just crazy, you know? It's invulnerability, too. So, it's... like, that's nuts, you know what I mean? I mean, it's... sorry, invulnerability hits on click number 2. But still, a 19 defense to start off, like, you really have to start getting a run on Superman. But Again, I didn't end up using either of the Superman. I could have, because those are just a regular 15 or regular number 15. It's I believe it was a common, but again, is what it is. Next up is really kind of where we, in a way, went off the rails. I'm going to start off here. Detective Chimp is number 5. Justice League Dark, Shadow Pact, Animal, Detective, and Mystical. Of course, if you haven't seen Detective Chimp before, he's a detective, he's a chimp, his gal Friday, you know? It is what it is. He has, I'm just an immortal crime-solving primate, perplexed and outwit. Mystics. This is going to become a theme here. I didn't end up using this. I wanted to put it in my team, but I didn't have enough points. But each time this character takes damage from an opposing character's attack, after resolutions, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage uncopyable. And he only has 4 clicks before KO, but I think it would have been good fodder. Stealth, leap, climb, and super senses. But again, it actually ended up being 5 points over my limit to the team that I ended up building. So, again, it would have been good to have that extra, just to have a little bit of a buffer. I know a lot of teams that I saw end up having like a 1 character buffer to have somebody to worry about, especially with the perplex and the outwit. Really would have been nice to have, especially in one of the. I ended up playing 3 matches, one of which was a bye match that I just played against the guy who was running the tournament. But it just wasn't enough. But moving on. Now we're going to get into what I call the Bat family. So, Batman number 18, Batman family, Brute, Past, and Warrior. Now, I kind of like this figure. Look at that. You want to talk about a really good sculpt? That is a fantastic sculpt, in my opinion. Even to the back, the detail is really, really nice. I've never seen Batman like this before. So Return of Bruce Wayne. And I've actually got 3 Batman. All 3 of them have this ability. So, at the beginning of your turn, you may choose one. Replace Batman with another character with this trait on the same click number, or heal Batman 1 click. And the other one on this one is Miyagami Shrine. It's a free action. If Batman didn't begin the turn on the map, generate a smoke terrain marker in his square. And surviving any time period, seal energy. When Batman KOs an opposing character, after resolutions, he may make an attack. And Batman Ally Stealth. This is 7 clicks. Pretty interesting kind of card here. I feel that, especially with a lot of the other abilities on the back end of it. And again, he starts off with a 19 defense. Like, that, part of me is kind of sad that I didn't end up going Bat Family on my build. But I was going for something a little bit different. I wanted to kind of test the waters on some of the other abilities with my team. So I really didn't end up going with that. But that going forward, now that I've kind of gone a little bit more in depth using Batman's Return of Bruce Wayne ability and utilizing that, assuming I can get maybe another one next week in the actual release sealed tournament, it'd be really interesting. But we'll see. Next up, Batman number 32, Batman Family, Gotham City, Past, and Pirate. This is one of my favorite pulls. I didn't end up using them again, but like this, like, come on. How can you not like this Batman? Like, rapier and everything. It was impossible not to like this figure. Especially with the black beard. You know what I mean? It's great. I mean, it just really is fantastic. So, again, the Return of Bruce Wayne ability. Gotham's Greatest Plunderer. Hilarious. When Batman hits with a close attack, if you didn't begin the turn on the map, choose an equipment equipped to a hit character and remove it from the game. I didn't see a lot of those equipments, so that's also kind of went into part of the reason why I didn't end up using him. And then all aboard the Black Rose, leap, climb, sidestep, my 3 adjacent friendly characters have the Dolphin ability, which is the water build. And then, of course, Batman Ally Stealth. It's another one, 18 to start off with, and then ends up 17 on the defense. Again, I was really thinking defensive-minded in some aspects, but, again, didn't end up using them. So, of course, we have Batman. First one in the set. Batman, literally. The classic, the OG, the Cape Crusader, Gotham's greatest detective. That's Batman, Family, Gotham City, Justice League, Outsiders, Detective, Martial Artist, and Past. Utility belt through time and power. Free action if Batman didn't begin the turn on the map. Adjacent friendly characters modify attack +1 until your next turn. And Batman Ally Strength. This one wasn't really too kind of plussed on it. It does, again, have the 7. But, I mean, in all honesty, again, I was really looking for something a little bit different. And that's just kind of how it ended up. I felt that going a little bit basic with the abilities for Batman, I was like, do I really want to go down this road? But now, seeing that I might want to go with the Bat Family kind of a build, and really kind of take a look at as far as swapping out Batmans, you know what I mean? I look forward to looking at the rules and see how that would work, and maybe seeing somebody like play a test game and kind of see how that goes. That being said, those are the figures that I ended up not using this past week. Now, the team that I did end up going with is a 4-character team focused heavily on the Mystic's ability, which did help. Again, that's the Mystic's ability. Each time this character takes damage from an opposing character's attack, after resolutions, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage, which is uncopyable. That ability was in 3 out of my 4 characters. But that was also intentional. I wanted to be more defensive, and I not only was I looking at the defensive capabilities of the Batman and the Superman, I was like, well, Mystics can be a real good kind of backlash type of play, which did help me in the last game. It really, really did. Literally came to a one-on-one situation, and it was Mystics versus Mystics, and one of my characters was just low on health, and that was that. But let's go over the team that I had, and I'm going to kind of let you know what went wrong and what definitely went right. So first off, I got a really good pull. I got Zala Jor-El. I really do, again, like the sculpt on this. Not sure it's going to kind of come through on the video, even though it's 4K, but no. Now, Zala Jor-El, number 62, Amazon, Kryptonian, Cosmic Paskin Warrior, hunting the Green Man. When Zala Jor-El KOs an opposing character with the Assassin or Spy keyword, score 10 additional victory points. And when Zala Jor-El attacks, opposing characters can't use Mastermind or Shape Change. That I felt was going to be useful, and it was in a couple aspects. Unfortunately, the Assassin or Spy keyword, I thought for sure I was going to encounter at least a couple in the tournament. I didn't, at all, which kind of sucks. But can't use Mastermind or Shape Change on her attacks. That did help. And then on the back, the world needs us together, Zala. Unique modifier, other friendly characters within 4 squares modify damage +1. That definitely helped. When a friendly character with the Amazon keyword deals damage, that damage can't be reduced below 1. I got no other Amazons in my pool. 0. However, looking forward to maybe picking up a Wonder Woman or something like that. I ended up facing a Wonder Woman on Tuesday night that ended up just being almost like the be-all, end-all. It's got really good rolls. So, thinking about that. Our Father deserves justice. When Zala Jor-El hits, if it was a first attack this turn, after resolutions, place another friendly character that shares a keyword with Zala Jor-El adjacent to her. Didn't end up using that, unfortunately. And Superman ally. And Wonder Woman ally, super senses, but only succeeds on a 6. If this character can already use super senses, instead increase the result of its roll for super senses by +1. So there. Now, the kind of stats on this card aren't the best, but I liked having that like length of card. So that was something I really did enjoy. And her abilities ended up working pretty well. I only got a couple really bad rolls. It wasn't terrible. So now we're going to go into the two kind of also rans in my team. And then we're going to go with the one that really kind of helped the most. And it's not what you think. Next up is Animal Man. Here we go. This one, kind of like the sculpt on this. Not terrible, not the best, but serviceable. You know? Now, Animal Man. Each time, of course, Mystic's ability. Justice League, Animal, Cosmic, Mystical, and Scientist. That's really it. And it has, of course, his standard abilities. He was really there just kind of eat up a spot, and because he had the Mystic keyword. That was really it. However, I probably should have swapped him out and maybe popped in Superman. If I'm being honest, looking back on the games that I had, I'm like, well, that was only 60. I think my team ended up being 270 by the end. I could have swapped him out for Superman, even at the 50 cost, and been a little bit better off and had much more versatility overall. And kind of that was that. The only time Animal Man really ended up working wonders was the last game where I ended up playing another guy who had an Animal Man too, and it just basically ended up being a boom, boom, boom. We canceled each other out, and that was it. That's how it went. Next up, Dead Man. Dead Man number 3. Nothing really super special about this one. Still kind of cool, though. Kind of like the look of it. Your body is now mine. Sorry. Justice League Dark, Sentinels of Magic, 7 Soldiers, and Mystical. Your body is now mine. Mind control sidestep. When Dead Man uses mind control, after resolutions, he may be placed adjacent to a hit character, protected from outwit. Here's the thing with Dead Man. His mind control was indispensable in certain situations. I can't tell you how many times I used mind control just to attempt to murk out other players' characters. It was fantastic. I wish he had a better click. I mean, maybe I haven't double checked everything in the set list for another Dead Man, but just on a base level, if you need somebody who's like you need to fill up a spot for 40 points, the mind control by itself is completely worth it. So there's that. Now, this character that I ended up using, the first 2 games, I did not use their ability correctly. I was not paying as much attention to the board as I should have. But the third game is when things kind of started clicking. Let me tell you why. So, number 21, Zatanna. This right here, if I end up sticking with this set as far as standard play in the future and just having a very specific team, she is definitely going to stay on the team. Zatanna, Justice League Dark, 7 Soldiers, Shadow Pact, Celebrity, and Mystical. She does have the Mystic's ability again, and by the way, so does the Dead Man. Rewap as KCIP. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a standard power. Zatanna can use a chosen power until your next turn. Oh my gosh. So, the bye game that I played, didn't even think about it. All I really used her for was sidestep. Second game, I was so trying to work around the guy's team that I completely almost forgot about her abilities, and again just started using her for a sidestep. The third game, I went for 2 things. I went for probability control, and then I went for outwit, because man, I was up against the Daxamite, and as soon as I started outwitting Daxamite's, I think it's invulnerability, I started actually hitting damage on him, because I got really good rolls, and it just kept getting wiped. Good roll, wiped. Good roll, wiped. Oh my gosh. Zatanna in this set as an uncommon is a steal. Because she's only 70 points. Not a heavy cost character. She does also have the Justice League ability. For all friendly characters with this team ability, at the beginning of the game, choose a team ability. This character modifies attack +1 when attacking one or more characters with the chosen team ability printed on their base. Because, yeah. She does have 6 clicks. But, I mean, just that primary ability alone, completely worth the cost of her. I ran into the second game just, like I was telling my wife, I said I was getting probability controlled out of existence. It was just nuts. Because it was just like boom, boom, boom. And I could have used probability control so many times to give myself better rolls or a better opportunity at a roll, because the team that I was playing against had like 4 guys with probability control, and I would hit prob, I would hit prob, I would hit prob, I would hit prob, and then I'd finally hit a miss on like the last roll, and I was so frustrated. But it was a really good game. I made some really good swings. Now, overall, my experience with the pre-release. I have not had this much fun playing in a sealed format in well over a decade. Let me be 100% clear to anyone who would doubt that they would have fun going to a Heroclix sealed event. And maybe this is just my experience. I went to the Dragon's Lair in Lewis Center, Ohio. But I'm going to tell you people right now. In an earlier video, I talked about making the transition from Magic to Heroclix and why I did. And this event cemented that for me. Because the gentleman who was running it, for some reason I cannot remember your name, and I apologize profusely, because as a judge for an event, I have never felt so welcomed into an event. I've never felt so happy to be at a sealed event. And the people that I played with during this event, first things first, genuinely seemed to want to further the game. And the community of the game genuinely seemed interested in the characters that we were playing, genuinely seemed interested in having good competitive games, to the point of a couple of the two out of the 3 games that, well, actually on pretty much all 3, we were given, like the last one I helped the gentleman in front of me with like 1 or 2 things. He helped me mostly though. Like giving me tips on what to use and how to play and how to effectively use the character. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a Friday Night Magic and just never felt like I wanted to go back, because every single person that I've gone to some of these events and played against will make you feel stupid. This event, this past week, playing Heroclix, not once did anybody at that event make me feel uncomfortable to be there as a new player. I'm 42 years old. Not once, not for a single solitary second did I feel like I was out of place there. And that right there just makes me want to come back and play again. There's the regular release next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. I'm going to that because I feel welcomed as a player, as a new player. I feel welcomed as a player in general. And the game moves at such a fantastic pace, and a lot of that is also dictated by the people playing. You have a time limit. It doesn't feel like you're just, spinning your wheels. So I want to say, if anybody wants to join up with this game, find yourself a really good place to play. Get yourself a starter set, or start off with Masters of Time, start off with Next Phase, start off with Deadpool Weapon X. I think Wheels of Vengeance is still standard legal too. That just came out this year. So find yourself a place where you feel welcomed. And I can't really like push this any further because it's just how I feel about the entire situation of being a new player and going to a place that welcomes new players. I feel so happy in learning more about Heroclix and wanting to spend money. It's like the old days of Magic for me. 17 years old, 16, 17 years old playing Magic, and like now I'm 42, basically a newbie in a new game, and I get that spark again, I used to create decks till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm looking at characters and I'm trying to formulate plans and trying to do research for things because I have been led to believe that I'm welcome as a new player. Don't feel dumb. Don't feel stupid. I feel excited. And that is the greatest compliment that I can give to the people that I played with this past Tuesday, to the gentleman who's judging this past Tuesday, and Dragon's Lair, the store, where everyone is super cool, super nice, to a fare thee well. So that's kind of what I have for you guys this week. I want to thank everybody out there for watching. Feel free to go ahead and drop, comment, like, subscribe. Also, check me out on Twitter at Aphrodite's Crush. Feel free to go ahead. If you want to message me about Heroclix, follow me. If I follow you back, we'll do some DMs. Who knows? Anything's possible. But I want to thank everybody out there for watching. You guys have yourselves a fantastic day. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.